man was watching TV at home when the familiar engine roar suddenly came. The next second, the car crashed straight into his living room. Looking at the house that had been destroyed in front of him, he remained unusually calm. He first called the emergency number before opening the car door. The driver has been seriously injured and is about to die. Frank searched his documents to check his identity, and the man was the new courier he personally recommended to the customer yesterday. Frank shouted his name, and the man regained some consciousness. He unfastened his seatbelt and was about to help him get off the car, but was stopped by a man. Frank didn't understand what the man was saying, so an ambulance arrived at the scene. The medical staff kept trying to awaken his consciousness, but the man just kept saying the same thing repeatedly. With an unfinished warning, the man was carried onto the car. Watching the ambulance leave, Frank breathed a sigh of relief. Frank returned to the villa and suddenly remembered that there was a girl in the car. He wanted to take her off the car. Surprisingly, the girl also refused to get off. The girl extended her wrist, and it was only when Frank saw it clearly that he suddenly realized. He immediately rushed towards the ambulance, but the car had already driven away. He ran frantically to catch up with the ambulance, but just then the car suddenly exploded. He returned to the villa to ask the girl, but was knocked unconscious from behind. When he woke up, he found himself almost naked, wearing the same wristband on his wrist. He walked over to the wardrobe where a suit prepared for him hung inside. At this moment, the mastermind behind the scenes appeared, and it was none other than Johnson, the client he had rejected yesterday. Johnson asked Frank to choose whether to help him deliver the goods or choose death. Johnson held a gun against Frank's head, leaving him only 3 seconds to think under the muzzle. He had no choice but to agree, but his only condition was to drive his own car. After the conditions were agreed upon, Frank walked towards his car only to find that the girl was also in the car. So Frank told Johnson that he only liked to act alone, and without hesitation, Johnson aimed his gun at the girl. Frank had to tacitly allow the girl to accompany him when he saw the situation. However, the danger has just begun.